Our group's facility was Bowling Green Housing Authority. It is an independent living facility with a community center. Each person has a separate living space, which resembles small apartments or townhouses. The homes are decorated to their liking. They can decorate for holidays, and they enjoy doing so. Everyone in our group is still mobile and able to get around, so our goal was to make sure they receive the knowledge and abilities to be able to continue living this way.
Anthony is our sports fan. Phyllis is our knowledgeable one. Brenda gives it her all. Debbie is the sassy one. Faye is our sporadic one. Bobby is the most elite of our group and is also an artist. Sharon is our sweetheart. Janice is on the shy and quiet side. Carolyn is our hardworking participant.
They were always eager and ready to see us and get the session going. Upon walking into the doors of the facility, they would already have the cards passed out. Everyone would have their markers in front of them, and the bingo ball roller and ball holder would already be set up on a table for us. They wanted to waste no time and were always ready to go.
In an interview with Lori Ritchie, the service coordinator, she stated, "There are over 250 elderly and disabled at the Housing Authority of Bowling Green. They live on a fixed income, leaving it hard for them to pay for their necessities. Because of that, times and what to budget can be difficult. They are offered games throughout the week at the hospitality house to get them out of the house and also provide prizes of items that they need like toilet paper, paper towels, detergent, body wash, shampoo, soap, and even trash bags. They'll have older adults show up at the hospitality house at 8 a.m. and stay there until it closes at 4:30. They are often the only family for some of the residents, and the hospitality house is a place for them to come and just hang out and be with friends. Many of them struggle with reading, so they help with filling out paperwork. They go shopping at the beginning of every month. They'll help them pay their bills. They go to bowling once a month, and they go to walk around the mall a few times a month. They like to go on field trips to all different kinds of places. They went to the State Fair, Mammoth Cave, visit the Mennonites, Jackson's Orchard, Abraham Lincoln's birthplace, and down to Nashville over just the last year. They have monthly potlucks and have a weekly Bible study. There are many activities provided throughout the month to keep the seniors active. Their goal is to increase their socialization, self-esteem, and keep them living independently for as long as possible. They really just want to make a difference in their everyday life.
The majority of our participants have diabetes. At the start of our session, most of them were not participating in any form of physical activity. Some of the participants used to participate in sports and physical activity. Since then, a majority of the group had not integrated exercise as a part of their routine. When asked about it, the most exercise any of them have had in recent events was physical therapy. Overall, everyone fell into a low level of physical function. When comparing the 30-second chair stand with the timed up and go, you can see that the participants were able to stand up well, but they were having issues moving after they had done so. Even with their balance tests looking relatively okay, their confidence, as shown by the ABC score, was low.
All of the participants at Bowling Green Housing Authority were fully capable and able to complete their ADLs, though not all of them were able to complete their IADLs. It was something we wanted to work on with them because not all of them were able to drive and take themselves into town. We wanted to make sure there was an emphasis on strengthening their legs, calves, and ankles, and improving their flexibility so that maybe with more work outside of the session, they would be able to get back to not only moving around easier, but being able to possibly drive again. It was a fantastic motivator for them. We made sure to inform them of the benefits of the exercises and stretches that they were completing. The head turns and head half circles became popular with them after we informed them that stretching the muscles around the head and neck could help out if they had a headache that was caused by tension or stress.
Hearing was never an issue with us and our participants. We always had music going on in the background that didn't seem to bother any of them at all or even hinder them. As a matter of fact, they would sing along and dance with the music, and we would find ourselves doing the same. We listened to a top hit station from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. There was always a lot of talking going on, and everyone was always able to hear everything just fine and move on just as planned.
Some of the barriers we came into contact with happened to be other people that lived in the community trying to join the session without the proper medical consent forms. Our site is in the community center, and everyone is free to come and go as they wish. Some days we wouldn't have any other visitors, and other days we would be packed with extra people there to socialize and see what was going on. There were also days where there was a lack of drive and motivation in the group. and not many of them would want much to do with participating and completing the exercises. But that didn't stop us from trying to encourage them and convince and teach and help them push through that session and on to the rest of the day and future sessions.
Our participants were able to handle the gradual increase in exercise difficulty each week. They adapted to it very well and made a lot of progress. They were showing retention with knowing exactly which movements and exercises to do. They were also showing better motor control as each week went by. Their movements became smoother and more coordinated, and they were able to follow through and complete a higher number of reps.
They needed a lot of improvement, and so the program began. At first, there were a lot of issues with movement, especially with getting up and down. Flexibility was a big part of that because they weren't used to moving and stretching a lot of the muscles and joints. We began to modify activities after the first day because some movements were very hard. One of the exercises that we had to modify was the tricep extension. Instead of anchoring the band to the top of the shoulder, we had them anchor the band underneath their foot. The movement became easier and was less complicated, but it still worked the very same. We also used fruit cans and jars of peanut butter for the bands because at first the bands were too difficult. We made improvements every week to the program to make sure that it was tailored to their needs, and therefore we saw improvements in the participants every week. And of course, we wanted to try and keep it fun. Every week, we tried to get Anthony to remember Courtney's name. It actually wasn't until the last few weeks that he finally remembered Courtney's name. Bobby threatened to strangle Joey with the bands on day 1. All in good fun, of course.
As the program went on, they made a lot of improvements. Eventually, they were all using bands. Balance was better. Getting up and down was easier. Even with the higher intensity, there wasn't as many grunts and groans with the movements. If we were able to spend more time with them, we feel they would have made more progress and made it a lot farther. We would have liked to have had more confidence in ourselves with running the program and doing everything with them. We needed more room and space because at times we were bumping into each other. Some of the things that we got out of the program was just general knowledge of running a program. We all ended up feeling more confident in the end than we did at the start of it. It was a true blessing just to be able to work with them and make their lives easier. And then it was great to see the improvement that they've made over the entire semester.
I'm hooked on a feeling. I'm high on believing that you're in love with me. Lips as sweet as candy, its taste is on my mind. Girl, you got me thirsty for another cup of wine. Got a bug from you, girl.
The overall experience was great for those in the group that had a desire to work with older adults in the future in whatever career path they choose to go down. We're not the only ones that got something great out of this. No. So are you enjoying it so far?
Yes, I am. I'm enjoying the bingo and the exercise and everything that goes with it.
All right. How do you feel about it?
I like the class, and I wait for people to come every week, and it makes me feel better.
All right.
I like it.
A lot?
Yeah, I like it a lot. It's interesting.
Keeps you on your toes.
Something new that I learned.
Well, all right.
Now keep on continue coming down with our program.
I like this exercise. It helps my body.
All right.
Makes me sore, but I know it's working.
No,
It's making me sore, and it's got me even doing a few of them at home.
well, there we go.
I thank you for caring about us.
It's not a problem.
It means a lot. It helps our program. It helps each and every one of us. And the fellowship that we get to know us. And you get to know us.
I was going to say I love it.
Yeah, I'm just the old lady.
I said I'm hooked on a feeling.